This is my Yeti Tundra 45 that I've done some other videos on. I did one on the DIY divider right here. I've been working on something else. When I first got the Yeti, I was surprised that they had these rubber feet because I was used to other coolers where you could just easily slide the cooler around, and the Yetis just do not slide, especially if you have like a rubber bed mat in the back of your truck. It just doesn't move hardly at all, or concrete floors, or in a boat, and sometimes you do want it to slide. It's easier to move around that way. So I'm going to try making some slider feet, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So I do want to mention that Yeti does make sliding feet. I think they're $20 or $25, and you pull out the old rubber foot and you screw the old one in place. So it's fairly permanent. You guys know I like to build stuff, so I figured I'll give it a try. This is a piece of the cutting board that I used for the DIY divider, and I figured that'll make a good sliding surface. So I'm gonna cut some ovals out of here, and then we'll go from there. Here's one of the sliding feet cut out. All I did was make a real crude tracing of the oval part of the foot, and then I just found the centers. So the center of the holes are about 1.4 roughly from center to center. So once you get the foot cut out, you need holes drilled at 1.4 center to center. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Here's one of the sliding feet with 7/32 holes drilled in it. The screws that I'm going to use are these number 12 by 1.5 inch flathead Phillips screws. Of course, we don't want the screw to stick down below the foot, so I used a countersink to recess where the screw heads will go. Here's a countersink right here. So the screws fit in here, and the heads are below the surface when they're in there. So that's how it'll look from the outside. The next thing you need are 8 of these rubber plugs, rubber stoppers. I got them from Lowe's in the hardware section in the blue drawers. These are 3/4 by 9/16 by 1. I drilled a 1/16 inch hole through them all the way through, and then you take them and you put them in the feet holes. Actually, I'm planning on wrapping them with double-sided Scotch tape just as a little extra friction in there. So you drop them in here in these holes, and then the sliding feet go on top, and when you screw your screw in, it goes into the rubber stopper and it expands the stopper and it grips on the foot. So you're left with a foot sitting on there that won't drop off and should work pretty well. Here's the Yeti with the feet installed. You can see how it worked out. Obviously they raised the cooler up just a little bit, but they're pretty secure. You can lift the whole cooler off the ground and they don't come out. The benefit of these is that they are removable, which is kind of nice, without drilling any holes in the cooler. But in the end, it is kind of questionable whether they're worth it or not. These cost at least $10 if you have to buy the plugs and screws, even if you have the cutting board already. And then all the time, I spent more time beveling the edges just a little bit. But it's kind of a cool project if you like to work with tools and stuff. But it's questionable whether or not it's worth it. But anyway, I'll give you a little shot of it sliding on the floor. Here you can see the cooler on a concrete floor. I'll show you how well it slides. So you can see it. It obviously slides, but it's not too much, so it's going to be sliding all over. It's a good amount of friction. Anyway, kind of a strange project, but I appreciate you guys watching, and let me know if you have any questions.